fucking Jesus. Welcome, everyone, to the sports show starring Mr. Bob Sharp and myself, John Truncali, and the man, the legend, the godfather of sports, the man that was around for the first sporting event, which was David and Goliath. He stood there and watched it happen, folks, and he rooted for the other guy. He rooted for the other guy, Bob.
He rooted for Goliath?
He rooted for Goliath.
Yeah, he had money on Goliath.
I had a lot of money, and the odds were 5-1, so that's a good period, you know.
And he was the first one to damn God after the loss.
Yes.
Damn you, God. Damn you, God.
I'm sorry. I know this is going off so too, but I'm sorry I'm a little late. I had to take my grandsons with me to show what we do after dinner. We had a nice lunch. Well, this was lunch, but we had a nice lunch. And then I had to go teach my grandsons a thing about what people do, what happens to them when they don't pay me.
Ooh.
So, we had the fellas sitting out there.
Grandkids walking around like this, Andre?
No. He was kneeling down. And he was praying. And I showed my grandsons the first thing you do is you cut a little bit of their neck. Just a little bit of blood leaks out. Just a little bit. You wanted to be alive when this happens.
The show got ugly.
Then we went to the back, we went to the back of him, and we gave him 2 slugs right in the back of the head. Just to show
that man can't pay.
Can this happen? Yeah. Dead man can't pay, but this one paid with his life.
They paid with his life. There you go. He made you angry.
So I had to instill this into my grandsons that they're going to be taken over pretty soon. They got to know this is a tradition that we do every year.
Absolutely.
Wait, I thought Kenneth was next in line. You're gonna pass him up? What's happening here?
Hey, John, you want to do me a favor?
Yeah.
You want to get that Giants logo off my head?
Oh, he's upset that there's a Giants logo there.
Oh man.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
That works. It doesn't matter.
No, it's okay because doesn't those slugs kind of like look like the shape of a ram's head?
Somewhat.
In their helmet.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I think you ought to keep it.
No, we gotta keep Dodger Blue happy. We gotta keep Dodger Blue happy.
Every now and then, we're still we are the defending World Series champions.
And we gotta hear that the whole rest of the season
until there's a new winner in the World Series.
Until the San Francisco
until
Giants.
November.
Until the Giants take over and knock them down.
Yeah. Actually, that 20-year-old kid prospect you guys have, he went yard today. He went deep today.
Yeah, and a smaller park.
I'm trying to watch them.
It's still the same part.
Oh,
I'm trying to watch them, and I just can't seem to get. I got them on TV. I get to watch them about a week from now.
Yeah,
against I think it's the Cardinals or the Angels.
Angels.
They play one of those two, and it's about a week. In the meantime, I'm watching. There's the Dodgers 5 times, the Cardinals 4 times.
Yeah,
I mean, it's amazing all the teams you get to watch except the team you want.
Andre, this is every year. I mean, every time I turned on the TV last year or even the year before, it was either a Yankees game or it was a Boston game, and that's all I got. It's like, isn't there any other teams other than Boston and Yankees that deserve a little TV time?
There is, but you guys got to watch Fox Sports Bay Area, and they'll have all the Giants games.
Yeah.
Last year I was able to watch them on YouTube, and I guess that's the Fox Sports Bay Area.
Yeah.
Channel, I believe.
Well, yeah, it used to be. Well, if you've got DirecTV, it is channel 696, and that's where the Warriors play, the Giants play, and the A's play.
Yeah.
Last year, I was able to watch the Warriors all the time on YouTube.
Okay.
I don't know what channel, but it was YouTube. This year, every time it's on, actually, it's NBC Sports Bay Area.
NBC Sports Bay Area, yes.
But it comes on YouTube, I believe.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
At least in my
Sports.
area it does.
Yeah.
And I can't get to watch them, even though
the only problem is Andre doesn't understand that he has to type in youtube.com.
YouTube.com.
That is difficult for Mr.
Well,
Andre.
no, his producer was. He
A producer.
Maureen will do it.
Yeah.
You mean that's all you have to do? Because I used to just turn on YouTube.
Oh, directly through the TV. Yeah. No, you're right. You can do it that way. Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
I used to watch
right,
YouTube. I used to watch YouTube TV, and then come down to where the Giants is and put the Giants or the Warriors.
Yeah.
Now I get garbanzo beans.
Yeah, Andre still uses pigeons to talk to his sister in Redwood City.
I thought he was still using dial-up.
Yeah, no. He's gone way back. He's still using the carrier pigeon.
Using the carrier pigeon.
Yeah.
And it's Italian scribble.
Italian
But when we meet and have lunch, it's the dialect from way back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when they're done, they eat the pigeon.
Okay. Yeah.
It goes good with gravy.
While they're cooking, while we're talking, the pigeons are cooking.
There you go.
That's right. We're going to talk about the anniversary. I think it's February 22nd. 1980. Something special happened, Mr. Sharp. What happened on that day, February 22nd?
The USA beat Russia in hockey in the Winter Olympics, 4-3.
You remember? I know, Andre, you were there.
Lake
Yes,
Placid.
I watched. I was there. I thought it was Canada, though.
No, not 1980. It was USA beat Russia in 1980.
Yeah, isn't that the miracle? Is that the miracle on ice?
Yeah, it was Russia. It was Russia.
It was Russia. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
4-3, we spanked them, and we're going to talk a little bit about that and why that was why it's called the Miracle on Ice and why it was a special moment in time. Then we're going to talk about some great sports memories, and I have a list of some.
Cool.
And I'm sure some of these old ones. Andre was there.
Yeah.
Bob was there too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bob was there too. Bob started going after they stopped killing people in the Roman amphitheater.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I missed all the gladiator fights. In the
he was too young. He was too young there. He wasn't Italian enough to get in. So.
I wasn't. Hey, what's that Irish dude doing here?
Bob was trying to sell whiskey.
Yeah.
He was trying to sell what the traditional Irish.
I was trying to sell whiskey and potatoes.
The Italians like potatoes. That's gnocchi.
Gnocchis.
Potatoes, they don't go with pasta, okay? Why you got potatoes? Potatoes and pasta don't go together.
You got
no ticket for pasta? You get in. Get in.
Yeah.
You go home.
Andre was selling oranges and bread.
Oranges and bread.
That was like that was your typical. Yeah, that was your typical snack.
That was your
we
dessert.
Should do that. You know
dessert.
What? I should do some research and go like as far back as we can go back in time and like the foods that were served at like the amphitheater and some of these other things. It would be kind of interesting how it got to become hot dogs, garlic fries, and Philly cheesesteak. Depending where you're at, it can get pretty. If you're at a 49er game, you could basically get anything there. Right? They've got pastas, they've got you name it, they have it there. But it'd be interesting just to go back and see what the average customer at the Roman Coliseum was eating.
Oh man,
I tell you, a loaf of bread. That was it.
Andre,
no butter, loaf of bread.
No butter.
No burro, no vino.
There was wine. There was wine. Bullshit, no wine. Come on, there was plenty of wine going around.
Okay.
Yeah,
Formaggio e pane.
They probably did have a lot of bread and cheese. I'm sure cheese was a big hot item back then, in the Coliseum. And you got, probably oranges because they got to throw the oranges at the gladiators. I know that. I've seen that story. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some of those great sports moments in history and see which one of these two guys attended some of these things.
There you go.
I looked through them. And I picked a few that I kind of remember myself, but I thought we'd do like one like yours, like what's your personal one that that you have that flashback all the time about, and mine's a little weird, so we'll get into that. And you too, Andre. What was that one sports moment that you will remember forever? Until the day you go and finally see Jesus Christ up there in heaven. I know it's been hard. You've been living for 1,700 years, so
I don't know which one to pick.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but I had, and actually mine is not even a Rams one. It's not even a Rams one. So it'll be curious to see what those special moments were. I'm sure Bob's, you guys, both of you two have long history of sports. So, and there's a lot to choose from, but I'm sure there's one that, that you remember forever. Like every single detail, which way the blade of grass was blowing, all this shit, But let's talk about the Miracle on Ice. Let me open up my thing here and get my face in there. Mr. Bob, go ahead, Mr. Bob.
All right, the Miracle on Ice. Well, number one, I mean, like when I put on my Facebook post it was like 1:00 in the afternoon or 1:30. I'm driving down Orangeburg. I forget where I'm going, and I'm listening to the radio. And the guy comes on and goes, wait, we've got the score of the hockey game, USA and Russia, because West Coast got it tape delayed.
Yeah.
And he goes, if you don't want to hear the score, turn the radio off.
Those were the days.
I'm like, okay, I'll leave the radio on. He goes, USA 4, Russia 3. I'm like honking my horn. I'm at a red light on the corner of College and Orangeburg. And people are looking at me like I was probably crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm like in my car, just honking my horn, celebrating. I'm like, this is incredible. It's incredible. Only because the Russians were, at that time, they were a professional league, and
pretty much
Olympics were amateurs. And they had just played 2 weeks prior at Madison Square Garden, and Russia beat the USA 10-1. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close. So you got a bunch of college guys playing against a bunch of professionals. And, all the hype, Russia's going to kill us, blah, 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 blah. And it was interesting because the USA scored 2 goals in the first period, and Russia scored 2 goals. Matter of fact, the USA scored their last goal with like 2 seconds ago. Mark Johnson came out of the penalty box, and he got a rebound, and he got it by the Russian goalie, who was the best in the world. In the second period, the Russian coach benched his goalie. So he put in a second string goalie for the rest of the game. And then the third period was pretty much even. It went to 2-2. Second period was even 2-2. The third period, Russia scored, we scored. And then with 10 minutes to go, Mike Eruzione scored a goal.
Viva l'Italia.
Yeah, Mike Eruzione, the captain, he scored the 4th goal. And then for 10 minutes, it was the Russians probably put about 30 shots on goal against Jimmy Craig. And if you watch the movie, Kurt Russell did a great job, but with like a minute and a half to go, he's looking at the Russian coach. Because usually if you're down with like a minute to go, you pull your goalie and you get an extra man on the ice to help score. Right. And the Russian coach never pulled the goalie because he was never in that situation.
Yeah.
And in the movie, Kurt Russell's like, he's not pulling the goalie. He doesn't know what to do. We got this. He doesn't know what to do. And then just listening to Al Michaels call the game. And also what made the game so important was the politics at the time. Russia had invaded Afghanistan.
Yep.
So we were supporting Osama bin Laden, giving him all the guns and stuff, which he turned on us later. But we're supporting the people in Afghanistan against the Russian invaders. We backed out of the summer games because Russia was still in Afghanistan. We didn't play in the summer games. But just to see a bunch of college kids from America beat a bunch of professionals,
Yep.
And then you hear the stories that the Russian coach had to go back to Russia, and who was in Gorbachev? Gorbachev, I think, was in charge.
He had that little
Yeah, Gorbachev, and so the Russian coach had to go see Gorbachev and apologize for losing.
Yeah. He was assassinated 2 days later.
It was crazy, man. But just go back and watch. I mean, I still get chills watching the highlights from that, because it was pretty much like David and Goliath, right?
Yeah.
David and Goliath, and pretty much David got a lucky shot.
Yeah. Yeah, the Soviets had 52 shot attempts to US 25.
Yep. Yep.
And Bob is correct. And that included, we had the what was it? The Iranian hostage crisis was also going on.
Yep. The Iranian hostage crisis, and Russia had just invaded Afghanistan.
Mr. Andre, I know you were there. You're probably the water boy at the time. Do they have water boys in hockey?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
So.
Hockey's not my sport.
Yeah. But that's the thing. That's the thing, though. You're right. You say that, but I think like everyone becomes a fan of sports during these times. The Olympics seems to bring out. It's too bad that a lot of those new fans that come in don't stick around and watch the regular hockey season and stuff. But for us as Americans, and granted, this is 1980. You're how many years? You've already been here. What, 20 years? Almost, right?
30.
30.
30.
Yeah. So you're pretty much you're an American boy from the city of San Francisco. I mean, what was it special? Did it feel special for you?
Yeah, it did. I mean, I did. I watched it on TV. I'm not going to remember all the names. Yeah. The only names you can remember are the ones that are always spoken, which is Roger Craig and Michael Ruzioni. Those are the only names most of the humans beings that are on the planet right now probably remember. Wow. But I mean, you can remember the Ruzioni scoring that goal, and like goosebumps, get all over your hair, your arms, and you just feel goosebumps all over you. And it was just it was something special, because we knew the Russians.
Everybody hated the Russians.
Well, it's because, like Bob said, those countries back there that are really heavy and honky, even though they call them amateurs, we know that they're pros. From the day they're 7 years old, 5 years old, they're trained to be a hockey player.
Yep.
They see something in them. Yeah. So they train them to be a hockey player. And their one goal is to win the Olympics or the World Cup in hockey. If God, I don't think they had one then. They have it now. But
they always. I'm sorry. They always have the World Championships every year.
Okay. Yeah, that's all. But their main goal is to win the medal gold in hockey for the Olympics. And those players are trained, not just Russia, but Poland or Hungary or
the Czech Republic.
The Czech Republic, there you go. That's a good one.
Well, all those countries back then, though, were in the Eastern Bloc. They were all controlled by Russia, so they were all communist.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at some of the greatest, I mean, like 1976, Nadia Comaneci, Romania, first gymnast that hit a perfect 10. She started getting trained at 5 years old, and that's what you did every day. Yeah. And if you look at the Chinese athletes, how good they are in certain sports. When they're 5 years old, they go to an academy. They don't see their parents. That's all they do is they train 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. They go to school maybe, but that's what they do. It's like a factory.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we get college kids, put them together for maybe 3-4 months. And you got to become a team to go out there and win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was a special moment when they did that.
Yeah.
When they were able to beat the Russians and bring the gold medal home to
Are,
here.
are you guys both kind of sad that we don't have that a type of Olympics anymore, where it is the amateur, it is the college kid, or it's the senior in high school that's participating in these Olympics, the best of our best of the young group, and not bringing in, the Kobe's, the Michael Jordans, the
Well, all right. So I miss the amateur athletics. I do, but we were. I mean, us,
It wasn't
maybe
fair. Yeah.
Australia, Canada, the Western countries used amateurs. Everybody in the Eastern Bloc and China, they were using professionals. So the only reason why we went NBA in 1992, okay, was because we lost in 1988. Okay. Now, no offense, our college kids could have beat the Russians if you had a different coach.
Yeah.
John Thompson brought most of the kids he brought played defense.
Yeah.
Their leading scorer, Hersey Hawkins, who played for Philadelphia later.
But didn't he do that because of the way the game is played in the Olympics?
No, he did it because he had an attitude.
Yeah.
I would have brought some more scorers with me, but Hersey Hawkins got hurt, so they couldn't. They offensively they sucked because they were a defensive minded team. They didn't have an offensive scorer. So when they played Russia in 1988 and lost, like Sabonis had been on the team. This is like his third Olympics.
Yeah.
So most of our amateur players played one Olympic and then they went pro. But Sabonis was on his third. Most of the guys on the Russian team were in their third Olympics. And so that's when in 92, America said, fuck it. We're going professional just like everybody else. Yeah. It wasn't even close. Yeah. They killed them by an average of 40 points. You got Magic, Jordan, Larry Bird, Clyde Drexler.
Yeah, that was ugly.
Oh, yeah. You had David Robinson. You had Patrick Ewing. You had Karl Malone, John Stockton. I mean, you had all these great athletes and great basketball players, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty ugly. It was
though, going back to what Bob was saying about when we lost to Russia for the gold medal, and it were just college kids, they were mostly defender-minded players. Mm-hmm. Even though that happened, the college kids had a chance to win that gold medal.
They did.
The referee somehow oh no, wait, we got to replay that game again, and 2 more seconds on the clock.
Yeah, that was the 1972 game. It was USA versus Russia, 1972. The USA goes up, I think 50 to 49, and so Russia gets the ball, throws it down court. It's out of bounds. Wait a minute, we got to call timeout because Russia called a timeout. They called 3. They gave Russia like 2 or 3 chances to win the game, which Russia did, by the way. Yeah. I mean, the USA had Tommy Lagarde. They had Tom McMillan. They had Henderson. Oh, God, who else was on that team? I think Austin Carr was on that team. But,
what's his name was on that thing, too.
Yeah, but
the white kid that everybody hates from Duke.
No, Christian Laettner wasn't even born in 72.
No, he wasn't.
No, in 88. I'm talking 1972 when in Munich when they screwed the USA over.
97.
Oh no. And this was 72, and they screwed the US over. I mean, the referees gave the Russians 3 chances at a last second shot, and they finally hit it. But you could tell there was.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure, though, I thought that was back in the 70s is when the United States said, okay, from now on, we're gonna change the rules, and some of our pro athletes could play for the Olympics.
No, the first time we used pros was 1992 in basketball.
Yeah, because I think if you got into the draft, you weren't qualified.
Well, if you got paid.
Yeah, if you got paid.
Right. If you were getting paid to play basketball, you were now a professional.
Right.
So you couldn't have gotten paid. Now, a lot of our track and field guys, they had outside jobs, but
That's
they
right.
were getting sponsorship. So
Endorsement money, yeah.
they were getting they were getting sponsorships, so they weren't really getting paid to run track. Now they are.
Yeah.
But because Edwin Moses was in a couple, 2 or 3 Olympics, but track and field was different.
Yeah.
You know, I think too, back then, we chose, like we had, stars from every team
Mhm.
be on the Olympic. You know, like the best player from Kansas was on this team. The best.
Yeah.
I think if the United States would have just took the team that won the NCAA championship
Mhm.
and put them in the
Ooh, that
Olympics,
would have been interesting.
I think
Yeah.
the results would have been a lot more different then, because now you're getting the kids that have been playing together for 3 or 4 years in college,
Mhm.
so they're well groomed,
Right.
Yeah.
to meet anybody up there.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
think there would have been difference.
but if you go back and look prior to 1992, the only 2 times the USA lost in basketball was 1972 when they got screwed,
Yeah.
and 1988 when they were just outmanned by Russia because they didn't have anybody to shoot the ball.
Mhm.
And look how much has changed from that point in time. Look
Yeah.
at these countries now that have become
Right.
really, really good at
Oh
basketball.
yeah, Argentina, Yugoslavia. I mean,
Spain.
Spain. Yeah, because Spain, you had the 2 brothers.
Yeah.
The one played for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Come on, Bob.
Oh God, I can see his face.
Wasn't it something like
number
Lopez?
16.
Not Lopez.
No. Lopez boys were American.
Yeah, they were Americans.
Let's see. Peja Stojakovic played for Yugoslavia.
I know he's.
What was their names?
Wasn't it? Did it start with a G? Their last name?
You look. He went Lopez and then G. He knows
I
where to
know.
go.
G.
He knows.
I know. I know that one brother Mark played for the Grizzlies. I'm trying. Pau Gasol.
Oh,
You're
Pau
right.
Gasol.
Pau Gasol. The Gasol brothers.
The G and G.
Played it. Yeah, the Gasol brothers were from Spain. But look, I mean, since '92 though, look at all the influence you've had with players from Europe coming up.
Yeah.
But those teams now back in Europe,
Mhm.
they have become better. Yes,
They have.
they're.
Italy too.
Yeah, but what happens though? Most of those players come and play in the NBA. They get their training, they get their knowledge, they get to become really good, and then they go and play for their country during the Olympics.
Uh-huh.
Now, if we didn't have those players come into the United States and play in the United States in the NBA or go to college and play in the college,
Yeah.
if that didn't happen, those countries would still be the same way now as they would have been back in the 70s.
Email Trump and tell him to put an executive order that you cannot come to the United States, participate in our sports, and then play for another country. You
I
can't.
don't know, man. I don't know.
Hey, check this out. Italy could be one of the best World Cup teams, but what happens in Serie A or Serie A? They get players from Germany, from Spain, Argentina, Venezuela, Uruguay.
Mhm.
All these players come and play in Serie A. They take the position of an Italian-born player that could have played.
Yeah.
The Italian-born player sits on the bench while the Argentinian guy, the Brazilian guy, get to become all-star players because they're being trained in Italy. And then it comes
Send an executive order to the female president. She's
You know
a
how
pretty
many
good-looking
times I've
woman.
tried that? My mafia connections just doesn't work that well.
What I have noticed here lately, and it's not so much just in basketball, but you're starting to see the dollar amounts for an NBA player to kind of say, you know what, yeah, I have pride in the U.S., but you think I don't think I'm going to play. I think that's starting to happen. And it happened a little bit in the last Olympics where we had a couple players like, hey, you know what? Is this really worth playing in this for a gold medal and getting hurt and then costing me money down the road? I think you're going to start seeing that.
But that's bullshit.
Oh, I know, Bob. I know. It's still about It's still about country and pride.
Somewhere it's got to be about pride.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Because, I mean, so if you go back and look, like, all right, so we're using the amateurs.
Let me ask you this, though. Mr. Bob Sharp, 50 points, 10 rebounds, 13 assists tonight. Your agent says, hey, you know what, Bob? Maybe you shouldn't do this. What does Bob do?
I tell my agent, go to hell.
You do? All right. That's good. How about you, Andre? You're 55 points a night, 10 rebounds, 13 assists, 4 or 5 steals a game. You're making 60 million a year. Your agent says, hey, Andre, maybe you should hold out and not play in the Olympics, in case you get hurt. Are you gonna play?
I'm playing for the country that has my flag, that fed me, that clothed me, that let me do what I want to do. I'm playing for that country, because if I don't do that and I go play in China, then I got to do what they tell me.
You'd be a giant in China.
Well, I probably would, but then I'd have to do what they tell me. Go to bed tonight at 6. Go eat at this hotel. You're going to show up here for interviews. Yeah. No, that ain't what I want. I want to do what I'd like to do, and I'm playing for the country that fed me.
You think that pride is still there, though, with today's athlete?
It should be, because there's, to me, okay, there'd be nothing like having people come over to my house, and then over my fireplace,
fucking gold medal
is my gold medal, and they're all going, wow, because not everybody gets a gold medal.
Yeah,
you're right, and it should be. The pride still should be there. Absolutely. But it isn't anymore, because in this country nowadays, since this is me personally.
Yeah.
Since the 70s, the 80s, this country has not become a unified country.
Nope. Yeah, we're divided.
We're all split up. We're all, well, I don't care about you because you don't like what I do. I don't care about you because you got a different color of skin. It's not like that anymore. Before it used to be. Before America used to be one country where everybody liked each other, where the neighbors, barbecued and whatever. Mm-hmm. They did that. Nowadays, we come in, the people come in, they open up the garage door with the electric garage door opener, open up the door, put their car in, close the door, and you don't see nobody no more.
Yeah. No, you're right. Our little town right here. Me and Bob live in Modesto.
Yeah.
I knew everybody. Yeah. I knew everybody on my block.
If you noticed, when the soldiers came home from Vietnam or in Afghanistan, they're getting spat on. They're burning the American flag. Yeah. They're doing shit like that. How can you have pride in your country when you do stuff like that?
Yeah.
That's why I don't think the pride isn't there. And everybody now is for, give me the $70 million a year.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll play. It's like that now.
Well, you know what, though? I mean, so next year is the Winter Olympics, because it's between 2026. I think a lot of people like say, let's take a sport like downhill skiing. Okay. If an American's doing good, we're all rooting for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like Chloe Kim, when she won the snowboarding last year. I was in a bar watching her final run. I mean, a lot of people were cheering just because she's from the USA.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Olympics are, and it's sad, but the Olympics are every 4 years, which one it is.
Yeah.
Is our time that we even act like we are a country together.
Yeah, come together.
Because we're all rooting for America. Yeah. Although, now granted, soccer in the World Cup, the USA sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, but everybody else, which is kind of cool, because whatever your heritage is,
that's what your soccer team
that's who you're rooting for.
Viva l'Italia, Andre. Viva l'Italia.
People got Mexico.
Forza Azzurri.
Exactly.
It is. You're right. Spot on, Bob. That is the one sport that
the World Cup is where your heritage is, not where you live.
It's the sport where you get this guy over here that's been here since the 60s, that loves his country and everything it's done for him. But when Italy's playing the U.S., fuck U.S.
Baby. There's nobody else.
Absolutely. What's the next one on your list, John?
Oh, man. All right. Well, I had a question.
Okay.
sees my face. Sports Illustrated named the victory the #1 sports moment of the 20th century. That still hold up today? Would it still hold up in the 21st century? Would
Miracle
you,
on Ice?
yeah.
Yes.
Would you say it's still
Yes.
the greatest
Yes.
sporting event,
Yes.
even in the 21st century?
Yes.
Andre?
I don't know which sport you're talking about.
Any sports.
Yeah. Anything else that has just brought the country together? Do you
What-
think that's still the #1 moment in sports history in the 21st century? Currently, today.
It might be, but I don't think it would be as popular as we think it would be.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, though? Not to cut you off, Andre, I'm sorry. It all depends on generation.
Yeah.
For those of us who saw it, it's a great moment.
Yeah.
But
Right.
for those who weren't born yet, they could care less.
Yeah.
But I think though, even though for us to saw it, yes, but even the newer generation, if they see it, I think they would like it. But instead of 100% out of the new generation, maybe only 40% or 50% might say yes to that question.
Mhm.
Do
And
you
the other
think?
ones, they would say, "Who cares?"
Yeah. Do you think if they knew for this, for us being this, being the greatest sports moment of the 20th century, we knew everything that came to this moment, that moment. We know all the history, everything that brought to that moment to make it so special. You think if they understood that whole thing, that it would become a moment in time that they weren't, obviously many generations have passed, but it's still being a big sports moment. Because I think like even the generation before me, which would be
The boomers.
In front of me, which would be millennials.
Yes.
You probably got the greatest moment in sports, maybe a Bulls game, or a Jordan moment, the dunk from the from the field, from the say it, Bob.
From the free throw line?
From the free throw line, yes. I mean that to me, what has happened in the 21st century do you think kind of lines up with that? Maybe #2 for you. That's tough, huh? You got all the LA Rams winning the Super Bowl in 1999, 2000.
No. So the greatest sports moment in the 21st century.
It's tough. I got one.
Go ahead.
Women's soccer.
Women's winning with World Cup. Yeah, absolutely. Great moment. Great moment. But something that hits worldwide.
But it's not men. See, that's the thing. That's how bad we are.
No, that's not. No, that's not. I'm
yeah, no, I know you're not thinking that way.
Because because to me, in the 21st century,
a lot's happened.
One of the greatest moments I've seen was in the World Series last year was Freddie Freeman hitting the grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. Because it's just like Kurt Gibson did in '88. If you go back and look at the best moments in baseball, Kurt Gibson's home run was up there.
Yeah, that's up there.
It was 1 or 2, right? Yeah. It was 1 or 2.
I still think he faked that whole thing, dude. I'm sorry.
And to see Freddie Freeman do the exact, because I know exactly where I was because I was at work watching it on my phone, and I'm watching the score go from, I see bases loaded, Freddie Freeman's come up, and on my phone, I'm watching the score go from 3-2, 6-3. And I yelled. And DeMille goes, "What happened?" I go, Dodgers won. Freddie hit a grand slam. And then I got to go outside and on break and call my Dodger friends. And I didn't get to see it live. Right. But as a moment like that, all right, so
it's tough. There's a lot of things happen. I'm going to pull some up.
All right. Well, so one of the great moments in football, okay, as much as I hate this, is the catch.
The catch. Yeah, the catch.
Because that defined an era right there. That defined that Dallas was done and the Niners took over.
All right, here we go. You guys pick from these here. We got Tiger Woods 2019 Masters win.
No.
Usain Bolt's 100-meter record. That was big.
Usain was that was big. Yeah.
Cubs 2016 World Series win, dude. The GOAT.
I know. All right. So but there wasn't one magical moment. It was over a week and a half time span. Okay. So the Cubs win the World Series is awesome. Just like in 2004 when the Red Sox won finally.
Yeah.
And then 2005 when the White Sox finally won. You know, but that was, I mean, watching the Red Sox, I think watching the Red Sox win was, to me, better than watching the Cubs win.
Really?
Yeah.
But both long time coming, but
yeah, but see, the Cubs hadn't been in a World Series since 1945.
108 years.
So you're watching the Red Sox. They lose in 75 to the Reds, and then in 86 when they lost because Bill Buckner couldn't field the ground ball.
Yeah.
You felt pain. You felt joy for the
Felt pain for Buckner, man.
Yeah, you
Poor
did,
bastard had to move, man.
I know, but you felt because you could relate because you've been alive watching all that.
Yeah.
You could you could relate to the Boston Red Sox winning that.
Yeah, but you got to look at 108 years.
108 years.
108 years.
Wait a minute. Wait. I think my math is off. When was it the last time that the Cubs won the World Series?
They won in 2016 and it was 108 years.
Yeah.
So 1908 was the last time they won.
That's a lot of people that have died since they won the
I thought I heard 1945.
That's the last time they were in the World Series.
That was the time, in the World Series.
Okay.
And they lost the World Series.
Yeah.
But that's the last time they were in.
1908 was that? No, when was the scandal?
1919.
1919. Yeah.
That was the White Sox, though.
Yeah, that was the White Sox. Yeah.
Or what else you got, John?
Yeah. The Black Sox.
Black Sox. Yes.
Yeah, and I was looking at some other moments prior to the Miracle on Ice, and you have to go back to Jesse Owens.
Jesse Owens, because that was a big political thing in 1936.
That's huge.
Was huge.
That's huge.
He was huge.
Yeah,
made Hitler look bad.
Oh yeah, he left. I think he walked out. He walked out. He's like, oh, wait, don't do this, John. We get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
The Rumble in the Jungle, 1974.
Oh yeah, that was Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. Or
you think that was a moment in history?
Yeah.
I don't see how that could have been.
That was huge. That was the first. Was it the first satellite feed? Right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I don't.
The first pay per view feed.
I don't know how I could pick that as a great moment in history. I really don't.
Right.
Because I mean, it wasn't one fantastic thing. I mean, it was nothing for me. Okay.
Right.
I just don't think I would have never picked that. That was just two lame fighters fighting it out. Well, especially George Foreman.
Right, but so here's the deal though. So if you're going to pick a fight, if you're going to pick a fight where totally the unexpected happened and it's something you had to see,
the location.
Well, no, not even location, but just because Foreman and Ali were two top contenders.
Oh, the buildup. Yeah.
Right. I think that Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson.
That was huge. That's marked as one of those moments.
And then Leon Spinks beating Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Those two moments are bigger because of how much of an underdog the winners were.
Yeah.
I would have picked.
This next one will piss off Andre. Maradona's Hand of God moment, 1986. You remember that one, Andre?
Yes, that was a big scandal.
Just a little bit, right?
those cheating Argentinas that we trained in Italy. And all of a sudden,
apologize to all the Argentinians out there.
Jesus, that was that was a moment where it felt like somebody stabbed you in the back.
Yeah, that was when I realized that I needed to buy whatever spray they were using when someone got hurt in soccer, because that seemed to be the miracle spray. Whatever was in that can was the miracle spray, because the guy looked like he just got shot, and somehow they spray this shit on him, and he just jumps up.
He just jumps and starts running.
He sprints 100 yards.
Doing 50-yard sprints.
All right, so I'm laughing because of I've watched some soccer games and guys barely get pushed.
Yeah.
And they go down like they got shot.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right. Right. And then you watch a football game and some little punk kid's trying to play defense gets ran over, gets hit hard and jumps back up. And like, I'm okay. It's okay. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But you get these little like I don't know. I can't say the word on radio on this thing.
Yeah.
But they barely get touched. They go down like they got shot.
Yeah, we already
And then
had
they
the
pop back up.
Yeah, we already got the Argentinians pissed off
Yeah.
at us.
They're trained. These
Yeah.
players are trained to do that. As soon as they get touched, they're trained to fall on the ground, pretend like they're rolling around, pretend like they're dying, so that the referee would throw a yellow card or a red
Yeah.
card
A
against
red
them.
card,
or
yeah. A red card,
No,
yeah.
call a direct penalty.
Yeah,
And then
some
when
people.
when the referee goes like this, that means bring the stretcher out. Bring the stretcher. Bring this
And
guy.
the spray. And the
Look,
spray.
that's
spraying.
As soon as the guys with the stretcher
It
start
could be
to run,
Windex.
Yeah.
It could be the Greek thing. It's Windex.
Dang.
It's got to be Windex.
I think that LeBron James must have grown up playing soccer.
Yes. Yeah. I was just going to bring that up.
Because no, seriously,
Yeah.
I watched. I think it was last year in the playoffs or the year before in the playoffs. He barely gets touched, and he runs and falls and gets all dramatic and ends up 3 rows in.
Yeah.
And he barely got touched.
Yeah.
I'm
And
like,
then he
dude,
goes-
that's better acting than I see on
Well,
TV.
some people say
And then-
it's
and
the
then he goes-
introduction. Yeah. Some
Then
people
he
say
goes
it's the
and-
introduction.
Then he goes
Yeah, go
and
ahead.
runs. Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Andre. Go ahead.
Then he runs to the referee and starts waving his hands up in the air. Where's the foul? What's the matter? Where's the foul?
Yeah. Well, some people blame the introduction of the European player into the NBA for the flops.
Yeah.
They say that's where.
Oh, Vlade Divac was horrible.
It was introduced.
Vlade Divac was horrible at a flop.
The last one's a big one because
Go ahead.
Michael Phelps, 8 gold medals in 2008. That's a pretty big moment.
That is a big-
Yeah,
that's a huge
I would have to put that one right up there
Yeah.
with them. With the Miracle on Ice as the 21st century, as far as an Olympic event.
Yeah.
No
one's ever done that, so that's a big.
Well, yeah, because he broke the record of 1972 of Mark Spitz.
Yeah.
Because Mark Spitz got 7.
And there's something else that happened. Would you only doing this because I know you guys will love this? We got to throw in the Giants beating the Patriots, an undefeated season.
Yes.
That's got to go up there and there.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Giants beat it. Because the Giants were a big underdog. It's like Eli Manning and the Giants. They're like they can't compete with the Patriots.
Eli's nothing like his brother.
Oh man. Oh.
Uh,
Although he beat Brady twice.
he beat Brady twice
In the Super Bowl. That's all that counts.
Yeah, I think I talked about. There's a show that I watch. I don't know. It's called Goldman's, and it's on Netflix, and it's a guy that sells sports memorabilia and other stuff like that. And I guess Peyton is a part owner of this place.
Uh-huh.
And they have the shot where Peyton's driving in his SUV, and he calls this guy Morty. I think his name is Morty. He says, "Hey man, I got a bet with my brother on whose jersey is worth more money. Is my jersey worth more than Eli's?" And he had to tell Peyton that no, Eli's jersey, because of that jersey winning that Super Bowl over Brady, both of those 2 jerseys are worth more than any jersey that Peyton has. He didn't like that.
Oh, man.
Those two are fun together.
They are.
They're fun together. I'm glad that they have their little show and they do their things. But I can't think of any other one in the 21st century that I would put up there, other than, of course, the Rams. For me, that's
Well, yeah. Mike Jones tackling Kevin Dyson.
Yeah,
at
just
the
yards.
2-yard line.
2 yards.
He's
Andre
trying
didn't like that.
Yeah, he's trying to stretch out. But man, trying to think too, because nothing. I mean, like I said, nothing memorable. Well,
Yeah.
the day that Dale Earnhardt Sr. died in Daytona.
Yeah.
Okay, when he got into that wreck and he died.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I mean, there's nothing. There's not really. Maybe I just stopped watching sports because I gave up. I don't know.
It's too. You got to kind of when you're talking about like these moments, we're also kind of trying to put in the fact that it was a moment that brought all of us together as a country too. So the Cubs thing, I think a lot of people that weren't Cubs fans were coming out of the woodworks like, Jesus Christ, let's let these guys win this.
Yeah.
I could see where that, it brought in fans that were just, I think that's what we're getting. Do you guys feel like that's where we're getting with football?
Right.
It's just like, give us the underdog. Give us the underdog.
Oh yeah, give us underdog. Well, see, and that's why, I mean, one of the best moments that they don't bring up very often is 1985 in the Final Four, the final game.
Yeah.
Villanova beats Georgetown. Villanova was a huge underdog.
Yeah.
Villanova shot 82% from the floor and beat Georgetown.
Yeah.
They were such an underdog. Nobody even know. I mean, a lot of people, if you ask, they don't even know why Villanova showed up because they knew Georgetown was going to roll. And Villanova beat them.
Oh, really? Marshawn Lynch 67-yard touchdown run?
Nah.
Mm.
No.
No.
Now, are these moments just for the U.S. or?
Well, no. I say any moment in sports. I mean, any moment that you can vividly remember being where you were.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but it has to be in the year 21st century, right?
Yeah. It's got to be the 21st century. That competes with the Miracle on Ice for us. Yeah.
21st
I don't
century,
think there's any of them.
no, but the 21st century
Yeah.
is 1900, right? No, the
2000.
2000s. Yeah. So the 2000s up now, so 25 years. So I mean that's a lot of time, but I don't think anything. It's like Bob's saying. I don't think there's anything that's happened since 2000 to now that brings us together as a nation or a group of people for a specific group of individuals to win something.
this is not one.
I think we get close. I think we get close with men's soccer. I think when there's a little bit of hope, and then it's kind of gone really quickly. But I can't think of anything else.
If the U.S. ever wins the World Cup, that will probably be the biggest moment than Miracle on Ice.
FIFA would end the tournament. FIFA would say, "That's it. We're done. The French
in 2012, no, 2006, 2010, 2014, 2018, 2022, 2026, 2010, Italy beat France for the World Cup. That was a big moment.
Yeah, that's for the Italian population of the U.S.
It's not one for the U.S., so the U.S. people don't give a shit.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
No, that's the thing.
That's a big moment, though.
Yeah. It's just like, even outside of sports, if you look at, I mean, some of the biggest moments, like where were you on 9/11?
Yeah.
I was watching it on TV, and I was in my parents' house getting ready to go to Yuba City.
Yeah.
I saw the first plane, then I saw the second plane, like, holy shit. 1981, I just left MJC. I was going to work, and on the radio, Anwar Sadat had got assassinated, which, I mean, a lot of people don't think that was huge, but that was really huge because Sadat was the only guy in the region who wanted peace with Israel, and that kind of screwed everything up. That's why, but remembering that day, it's just like when John F. Kennedy got assassinated.
I was not born yet.
I was one, but I don't remember. But it's just, but that type of moment, like I said, I can remember vividly being on the corner of Orangeburg and College Avenue, listening to the radio when I heard that score. I was up deer hunting, listening to the radio when Gibson hit the home run.
Boo.
I was at work when Freddie hit the home run. Boo. I was watching in 92, I believe, Joe Carter hit a 3-run homer off Mitch Williams in Game 6 of the World Series. What is different about Joe Carter's home run than the other home runs I brought up? Joe Carter's home run actually ended the World Series.
Yeah.
It was a walk-off win, World Series over.
Yeah.
But I can remember watching that.
I remember that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only one that I like going like those type of things is Leslie died.
Yeah.
And I just didn't understand why my parents were crying. Yeah. I was just like, did we know this guy? Was he related? Was he related to us? I just didn't get it. It's like, it's Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
Why is my mom crying? I'm like, this is weird, And, and it was the funeral. They were showing the funeral on TV. And I was like, why are we? I remember asking my mom. I go, "Is this a cousin? did we know Elvis? Why?" And I just didn't get that. I was at that age. I was 7 or 8 years old, so I didn't understand at that point in time. That to me, you cried when like a family member died, and I didn't get that. Like I'm like, who's fucking Elvis Presley? Why are we watching this on TV? And why is my mother crying and my grandmother shaking her head? Because now my grandmother, if Hulk Hogan would have died, my grandmother would have lost her shit. She would have lost her shit. That's the first time I ever seen in my life my grandmother blush when she saw him for the first time wrestling. And we used to go I think Sunday or Monday night. I can't
To
remember.
the Spectrum?
Yeah, no, to the neighbor's house. We'd all sit there in South Philly. And he comes out. My grandmother got a whole bluster. I was like, "What the hell?" No, Nana's right there, man. She's like, "Oh my god, look at this man!" Look. It's like, if Hulk would have died, I could see my grandmother crying. But yeah, special moments for you, Mr. Sharp. What was that? What was that one sports moment?
Oh, well, I said Miracle on Ice, 85, Villanova beating Georgetown, Kurt Gibson's home run, Freddie's home run, Joe Carter's home run, Dale Earnhardt Sr. dying, the catch, because the catch just symbolized like the dynasty, the Cowboys were done, Niners are taking over. And that was. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
It's just kind of funny that when somebody loses, when a team loses in the Super Bowl or in the NFC Championship, it takes them almost like 4 or 5 years, 7 years to get back on track to be a good team again. It seems like that when you lose a very important game, it's like everything falls apart. And all of a sudden you have no more continuity on that team to become good again and to compete for the championship the following year.
Right.
But Bob, I think you're right, but I think it hurts both the winning team and the losing team because what ends up happening is they get gutted. I mean, assistants get new jobs. They got so it's just I can see where even if you lose, even the losing team this year, would they lose? They have lost. They lost.
You mean the winning team?
No. The Chiefs lost 7-8 players right after the season ended, and plus an assistant or two. So I mean, I get what you're saying. That's gotta be tough. So
the Rams lost 4 NFC Championship games in the '80s, going up to 1990. But they were always there. They were always up on top. They just couldn't go over the top.
It's fucking Niners, man.
Yeah, well, the Niners, the Chicago Bears, Dallas Cowboys. But yeah, the Rams were, they were always good, but they were never good enough to get over the hump.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Andre. What are your best moments?
Oh man, I don't know which one to pick.
We know it's going to be Italian. It's going to be a World Cup. It's a World Cup.
Definitely. There's when Italy beat Germany back in 1982, I believe it was.
This house went nuts. That's all I'm saying.
No, I actually wasn't at the house.
No, my house went nuts. We went nuts here. Yeah, it was.
I was at the Cow Palace.
Yeah.
And that's when you buy tickets and you get to go see these games on these big giant screens.
Circuit.
God, the Cow Palace, man.
And it was just amazing. The group people I was with we were just jumping up and down. When Italy got that fourth goal to make it 4-0, and then they let Germany score 1 goal late in the game to make it 4-1. Everybody was just going, we were just jumping up and down, jumping on each other's backs, and that was great. I mean, it was fun. But there's so many moments that it's really hard, and they're all top-notch performance.
Yeah.
If that's the way you're saying it. Or top-notch incident where everything was just perfect, and everything just went your way. There's some, the catch and the Niners winning the first NFC Championship and then going on and winning their first Super Bowl. Italy winning the World Cup in 2010 again. It's just the Warriors winning
the Warriors were big.
They won the very first championship back in I think it was 76, 75.
75.
I mean that was just and to be at those games was great.
Yeah, you know what though? I can remember that because there was Phil Smith, Rick Barry,
exactly.
Jamal Wilkes, Al Addles.
He was the coach.
Clifford Ray.
Good. Cunningham.
Yeah. I mean, it's just I remember that they played the Baltimore Bullets.
No, I think they were weren't they Washington at that time?
I think they were Baltimore, then they went
Yeah,
Washington.
okay.
Because
Yeah,
when
we had
it was
Clifford Ray, and
Clifford Gray, yeah.
Gus Johnson as the
Gus Johnson.
centers.
Yeah, I mean, I remember. I mean, I remember that because I had just started really getting into basketball. Because in '76 the Celtics won, which is my team.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I mean the Warriors winning in '75 was huge.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because the Celtics won that championship game, and guess who was their center? Their center was
In what year?
when they won the championship. That 76 one.
Oh, '76 it was Dave Cowens. Dave Cowens was starting
No,
center.
no.
Yeah, it was. It was Dave Cowens, Tommy Heinsohn, Havlicek, JoJo White, and Don Chaney were the starting five. Paul Silas came off the bench.
Then it must have been that
Jimmy
because I'm thinking of the black guy that used to be the center for the Warriors,
Robert Parrish.
Robert Parrish.
Right. So that was 81 when Robert, and that was all right. So I'm just going to divert this conversation for 1 second. Okay.
Divert away.
That was one of the stupidest trades ever made. Okay. The Celtics got rid of JoJo White, who was getting older.
Yeah.
Right. JoJo White was almost over the hill. They traded him to the Warriors for Robert Parrish out of Centenary and a first-round draft pick. You know who the first-round draft pick was?
In 90?
It was 1980, I think.
19. Shit.
Kevin McHale.
Oh, okay.
The Celtics got 2 Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
For JoJo White.
Yeah. And he goes on and wins the championship with the Warriors.
Yes, in 1981, they went on to win the championship.
Yeah. Fuck Boston. and the White Hope.
All right, so I got one more great moment, and I was a 13-year-old kid watching the '76 Summer Olympics,
long time ago,
and I don't know why this race still is on my mind. I know why it's on my mind, okay, but the 400 meters hurdles, we probably got to see one of the world's greatest athletes, Edwin Moses, start a streak of 104 straight wins. And I can remember the race. And because lane 1 was another guy from the United States, and nobody ever wins coming out of lane 1 because that's where they put the slowest guys in lane 1 and lane 8. Okay, those guys are slow. Lane 1, there's a white dude, an American white dude named Mike Shine. Mike Shine came in second and won the silver medal. Edwin Moses won the gold. And I don't know why that race is still on my mind.
Sure, I thought Bob was going to go NASCAR for a fucking second when he said race. I was like,
yeah,
here we go. Here we go. NASCAR story. I'm surprised you don't have a NASCAR story.
I have a lot of NASCAR stories, but
not great moments.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, so you see a guy like when Dale Earnhardt won his first Daytona, everybody celebrated because he had been racing 20 years before he won his first Daytona. And like when he drove down pit road, every team was out there to shake his hand. As he drove by, everybody wanted to shake his hands because he had been doing it 20 years and never won Daytona. He finally won Daytona, and it was a huge accomplishment. Personally, not a big Dale Earnhardt Sr. fan.
Yeah.
But that was a pretty cool moment. That was. But as far as NASCAR, it's if your favorite driver wins. And I remember when, like I said, when Dale Sr. lost, when he died in Daytona, he was trying to block so Dale Jr. could win the race, and he got to do it on 200 miles an hour. He got clipped from the side, went and hit the wall. And back then they didn't have the Hans device, so he was flopping all over his car. And basically, if you're going 200 miles an hour, you're not wearing a seatbelt, or even if you do wear a seatbelt, but you hit a wall like that, you die because your insides come detached from your bone and like hit your skin, and that's why you die. But it was crazy.
Yeah, airbag's not going to do any good.
No.
Andre Sala.
Yes, sir.
Aaron Rodgers says, I want to finish my career as a 49er. That's the place I want to go. Does this happen?
I don't think it's happening. Here's a story that I've been hearing lately.
He says he doesn't want to go to any other team. He wants to finish his career and win a Super Bowl for the San
No.
Francisco 49ers before he retires.
This is what I've been hearing, and this is true facts. The Rams are going to trade Stafford to who was the team that I just heard?
Well, the Titans are the one that
Pittsburgh?
No.
Pittsburgh or the Giants?
Pittsburgh was the Giants.
Yeah.
The true facts that they're going to trade him to the Giants
For the third pick.
The Giants are going to give him their number 3 pick.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Rams, I believe, are going to trade down from that number three pick so that they could pick up more. They would have more drafts to pick up in the second round, and they're going to pick up Rodgers for 1 or 2 years, and that'll be a done deal because the Rams now cannot afford Stafford's salary.
Well, Stafford says he wants $50 million. Mr. Sharp.
Okay, so every team this year in their salary cap goes up, I think $59 million because of the profits from last year. Every team's getting a bump.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Would I pay Stafford 50? God, I'd love to. I mean, he's not asking for 60, but if I'm gonna, I don't know, man, I'd say take 40. It's not like you're poor. Take 40 and let me get you another wide receiver.
I love Bob. It's not like you're poor.
It's not like you're poor. Okay, let me give you 40.
Yeah.
And then let me sign like a Devontae Adams or something to help you out until we draft another kid.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I would do.
Well, you got Giants, Steelers, Browns, Raiders, all showing interest on Matthew Stafford.
Here's another thing that I heard, that Stafford has made $360 million by being around.
Uh-huh.
Now the Rams want to offer him $40 million for 2 years, and he should, according to the sources that I've been hearing, he should take it because now he's going to be guaranteed $40 million for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's another $80 million he make on top of the 360. That's $440 million. Play those 2 years. Play those 2 years on a contract, then quit, and that's it.
Well, see, and that's what I would do, because here's the deal. The Rams aren't going away.
Nope.
Their defense is full of first year and second year players. They're going to hold on to those guys for another couple years before the rookie contracts are done. Okay. They draft another piece. They draft an offensive lineman, or they draft the best wide receiver in the draft, or go after a free agent.
Right.
Okay. They were one play away.
Yeah. Yeah.
One play away from going to the NFC Championship game.
Well, that's like I say. I put it this way. You know, do the Giants give him a Super Bowl in the next 2 years?
No.
Does the Steelers give him a Super Bowl in the next 2 years?
Well, so he's under contract for one more season.
Right.
That's why they can still trade him. Okay.
Right.
He said he wants to look at a trade. Any trade he gets, he's not going to a contender.
That's right.
No, he's not. He's going to be running for his life for the Giants. He's going to be.
They don't have an offensive line.
The Browns, same situation there. The Raiders, I don't know.
Because
no weapons there other than your Georgia Bulldog guy there.
Right. If the Raiders don't draft Shedeur Sanders,
please don't.
They better draft an offensive lineman. Okay. And then bring in Russell Wilson for a year.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's a lot of options out there. If I'm Matt Stafford, my boy, my childhood friend Clayton Kershaw just signed up with the Dodgers again. At least give it one more year in LA. You know the offense. So Cooper Kupp's, been told, hey, we're not going to re-sign you.
Right.
But here's the deal. I mean, if nobody shows interest in Cooper Kupp, bring him back at $9 million or $10 million a year instead of 18.
Yeah.
Bring him back.
And he doesn't seem to be the guy that's going to be, I want to be number one. I want to be number one.
No, he knows he's not.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But there are some teams showing interest in him.
Yeah.
I mean, I would.
I think he'd be a great guy in the locker room. He doesn't seem to be a distraction.
No, he
So,
doesn't.
I mean, that's what I think NFL teams need to start looking at. Who's
Right.
not a distraction in the locker room? Who's not going to be sitting at the sidelines yelling and pushing a coach? Who's
Right.
not going to be yelling that I'm not getting the ball enough?
Right.
We've got plenty of those guys in the NFL.
He could be a good mentor.
Yes, exactly.
Bring back Cooper Kupp and draft somebody really young. Obviously, he's going to be young, and then if you draft him, and keep Cooper Kupp for a year or two, and mentor this new young receiver that you have.
Yeah.
And that's
Are
what
you
they
ready
need.
you ready for the next one?
Yes.
Purdy's deal that's floating around. 4 years, $194 million a year at $112 million up front. So about 40 something million a year. That's the deal that's been
Floating, huh?
rumored going around. You think he takes the 40 million plus?
He could.
112 million
Of
up
course
front.
you will, man. Would you not take it?
I would be drooling.
Well, so I was reading an article yesterday morning, and everyone's like, Purdy should take whatever the Niners offer, only because the system Shanahan has.
Yeah.
A lot of people can run it because Jimmy G took him to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy came out of nowhere to take him to a Super Bowl. So if you've got, I mean, it's not like Brock Purdy is an exceptional quarterback,
Right.
where he's carrying the team. He's not.
Yeah.
It was a rough year. No McCaffrey. Ayuk got hurt. Debo was hurt part of the year. You're playing with backups. Your offensive line wasn't great. I get all that.
Yeah.
But next year with everybody healthy, I mean, shit, I could probably bring in Sam Darnold and have just as many wins as Brock Purdy's going to get you.
Yeah.
For cheaper.
Yeah, and there's it could be me because I don't kind of pay attention to a lot of Niner stuff, but there's no teams that are just out there saying we want Brock.
No,
and that's what you usually get when you got a guy that gets you to the Super Bowl, gets you to the playoffs, wins consistently. But there was never that. Oh, I wish. I mean, I didn't even hear fans say, God, I wish we had Brock Purdy. I've never heard that. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Rams fan. I'm being honest. I never heard anybody say, God, if he was our quarterback.
Well, if you were down in Jacksonville, you probably might hear that. If you're in Tennessee with Will Levis, you're probably going to hear that.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some teams that suck that need a quarterback. I think Brock Purdy would.
Does he fit those systems? Probably not.
Nobody else has got a Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. Okay, nobody else has got Christian McCaffrey, Debo, and Brandon Ayuk on the outside.
So you take that contract?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You think he takes it, Andre? You think he takes that deal though?
Yes, I think he does.
There you go.
Have you heard anybody else say, "Oh, Brock, we'll give you $50 million"? We'll give you.
See, that's the thing. That deal's out there, but you don't hear any rumors of Pittsburgh saying we'll take him and you can have Fields and we'll pay him.
Even the teams that really need a quarterback aren't saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Even the teams that need a quarterback are not saying it. So if he hears the same thing we're hearing, he's got to take that deal, and I'm sure he's going to be. Right now, he's talking with his parents probably about it. And his parents are probably telling him.
His future wife, too. Don't forget about
his future wife. That's true.
Yeah,
his wife.
They just got engaged. They got engaged.
You only made $300,000 last year. Now you're going to turn down $47 million.
She's already looking for a house.
With you?
She's already looking for a house, man.
Yeah. She's kicking him in the ass because she wants to go buy that 20-carat diamond ring.
Well, here's the deal. She's probably going, look, sign the contract so we can move from Livermore over to Atherton.
Yeah, Blackhawk.
We want to live in Atherton. No, fuck Blackhawk. Blackhawk is like the poor version of Atherton. Okay.
Yeah, Blackhawk is not that popular anymore.
No, Atherton is. That's where like Steph Curry lives in Atherton. Joe Montana lives in Atherton. I mean, Atherton's this little community around Palo Alto. That's where all the exclusively rich people live.
It's
for
really,
me. I take that deal. I take that deal.
There's only like maybe a mile, 2 miles, or maybe just a wall.
Yeah,
that separates Palo Alto from Atherton.
Yeah,
and what a difference of
homes,
homes,
absolutely,
landscaping.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
gotta
no,
live in Atherton.
I take that deal just because of his youth. He's young, so if
Right.
he goes,
Right.
even if he gets through this 4-year deal,
Uh-huh.
and he's still the same quarterback, if not a little better, I can see him on his next deal maybe getting that 50 or 60. But yeah, I mean, going from what was his salary, $975,000 a year, I think he
Yes.
was making,
Yes.
to getting $112 million up front.
Right.
Now take the 40% off
Yeah.
that you're paying in taxes.
Taxes.
So it's still a good 50 something million dollars he's getting up front, dude. That's a pretty good damn life.
Yeah.
And you don't have to pay. And you don't have to pay taxes on those 56 million.
Yeah, but here's the deal too, right? I would take less money if they would promise me that they're going to get me a couple extra linemen.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a couple extra linemen, and yeah, I'll take 45, 46 a year because I need help. Because last year proved it. If you don't have McCaffrey, Ayuk, but if your offensive line sucks and you're getting beat up every play, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Well,
I've said it before. I think last year was pretty much a fluke for the Niners. I can't even remember a Niners season like that where it was just like dominoes, man. It's like,
and I think Lynch and Shanahan and whoever else that has power in that team in that organization, they're probably talking about we need to get some linemen.
Yeah.
We need to get these guys, and I'm sure they're going to do it in this draft. Whatever. Obviously, they got the 11th pick, so they're going to pick. Hopefully, some of these big linemen from Michigan, Minnesota, Ohio, Georgia, maybe Alabama, maybe Michigan. Some of these big linemen that are available, well, they'll be able to take some one or two.
Don, yeah, you know what? We should talk a little bit about that because that was kind of a special that tournament actually brought me back to hockey. It's been a long time since I've watched hockey, but that tournament did. I think it brought a lot of people back to the game of hockey because my Facebook page was full of hockey.
Oh yeah.
And granted, yes, I have a lot of Canadian friends. They were all posting, but I think it did. It kind of brought me back to the game, and I actually kind of enjoyed sitting there watching hockey again for the first time. Would I wish
tournament
a
was
different
this?
outcome? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what tournament was this?
The Four Nations.
It was a 4 days.
Nations.
Basically, it was their all-star weekend,
Yeah.
week-long game.
Excellent idea, too.
Yeah,
Whoever
it
came up
was
with that
great.
idea,
It was awesome.
get a raise. They deserve a raise.
Well, I mean, more people watched it than they did the NBA
Yeah.
all-star game. Okay,
That's crazy.
all right. So it was a very competitive. It was very competitive, and you gotta love the you gotta love the drama. They booed the USA national anthem. So what they do? 9 seconds in, we got 3 fights.
That was great.
And then the USA wins,
Yeah.
right? So now we're all feeling proud. We're all into hockey, love hockey. We're all patriotic. That was a hell of a game, man.
Yeah.
Yes, Canada won in overtime. Great for Canada, 3-2. But for a week, the whole world, well, not the whole world, but everybody in North America, basically was a hockey fan.
Mhm.
And it was awesome that was happening because, like I said, the NBA All-Star Weekend was unwatchable. That shit,
Andre totally enjoyed it.
no, seriously, no.
I can't wait to see it again.
When you got a G leaguer coming up for the 3rd year in a row to win the dunk contest,
Yeah.
so you got nobody. I mean, you got all these athletes are more athletic, more talented now than they were in the past.
Yeah.
Okay, look, Dr. J used to compete in the slam dunk when he was in the ABA.
Yeah.
Right. The best slam dunker I've ever seen was Darnell Hillman when he played for the Spurs.
Spud Webb.
David Thomas. Spud Webb only because he was so short.
Fucking it.
That's why he looked. Him and D Brown. They were so short.
Yeah.
They were so short. That's why everything looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
But nothing like Dr. J taking off from past the free throw line.
For you young people out there, he is the first person to dunk from the
free throw line.
Free throw line. Nobody knows that. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's great. You're like,
He started
Yes.
at the half. He started at the half court.
Yeah.
Took
Yeah.
3 steps and he's at the free throw line.
Yep.
Ready
And
to
then he
dunk.
takes yeah, and
Dr.
then
J.
and that's back when he was in the ABA when he started with the New Jersey Nets.
There you go.
And, that's when he first started with the Nets. And then he got in 77, he came over to the Sixers. But, man, Dr. J, just intimidating, man, with that afro and stuff coming down from the fruit. That was scary shit. Just like Darnell Hillman, same way. I mean, Darnell Hillman wasn't much of a player.
Yeah.
But the whole hockey thing was, like I said, for a week, we were all hockey fans.
We were hockey fans, man, and I didn't know the reasoning behind the quick fight, but there was a story behind it, so I had to go and look. Okay, I get it now. There's some tension between these two brothers and these two other guys.
Yes.
So for me, I'm watching it and I'm like, I know hockey. We all know there's fights in hockey, but not 9 seconds in, dude. Not after the fucking. It's like right at the beginning of the game, and it's just it's that feeling because it's so dramatic because the gloves just they flip their gloves off and you know it's going down.
Yeah.
It's going down.
Yeah.
And then to stop that fight and then do a face off and then boom, both guys throw their gloves down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, what the hell's going on? Are we good? For a moment there, I thought, are we actually going to get a hockey game? Is this going to be a hockey game or is it just going to be fight after fight? But yeah, I hadn't watched in years.
Right.
We left Philadelphia and I was a Flyers fan. I loved hockey. It was right by our house. We played hockey in the street. But when I came here and we pulled out our hockey sticks from the back of the truck, Troy DuPont, he used to live next door, goes, what are those weapons? They had no idea what hockey was here. So we tried because we had the nets. We brought the nets back with us. We had our hockey sticks. It just never took off. It was like, we'd start playing and then somehow, some way we ended up playing football on the street, Right. So it was, kind of lost my love for that game. So yeah, I'm glad. I think it was a great idea to do it the way they did it. Hopefully next year, maybe they expand it a little bit more and add some other countries to that. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it would be kind of neat to see it. But a lot better than what the NBA put. And the comparison too was the big deal online. They were comparing how, basketball can never be what hockey is.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, you know what we should do one of these days is just do a little story about how that Stanley Cup has seen some shit. That Stanley Cup has seen some shit, man. All I know is if I know all the history of that Stanley Cup, I am not kissing that fucking thing if I ever want it. I would not kiss. That thing's got to have so many fucking diseases on it, dude. Where that thing has been, hot tubs, strip clubs, fucking, it's been stolen. It's been everywhere. Bob, are you kissing the Stanley Cup?
I would kiss the Stanley Cup. If I won the Stanley Cup, hell yeah, I'm kissing the Stanley Cup.
You're going to go get tested after.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I think that I have probably kissed sketchier women.
Yeah, that's probably true.
What touches the Stanley Cup? You know what I'm saying?
That's probably true, man. I didn't think about that. That's right on the money. I probably kissed some really bad women that I shouldn't have kissed. Probably safer to kiss the Stanley Cup on
Probably is. Probably is.
Yeah. Well, what else you guys got before we head out? Anything else you guys want to throw out there?
No, there was something, but I missed last week's show, so I can't think of what I was supposed to talk about.
Let's see. I've got some friends. Well, my friend Mike and Stacy moved to Arizona, so
I saw some of those pictures.
I have seen clips of spring training, and I've really enjoyed that. I got to get down there and see them because I can stay with them for free, and that saves a lot of money. But I just think that
you're ready for baseball, Mr.
I am ready.
You're ready.
I am ready for baseball. Here's my one thing about spring training that I have grown to dislike in the last recent years is I wish that they would stop letting the ticket brokers buy the tickets early because they mark them up so high now. Why do you want to pay $100 to go to a spring training game?
That's a lot.
And your favorite players are going to play like 2 innings, maybe. Yeah. Okay. I mean, come on now. I mean, your best bet is don't go to Scottsdale to see the Giants there. Don't go to Camelback and see the Dodgers there. Go see them like when they play the Diamondbacks or when they play the Royals because you can walk up. Yeah. You can still walk up on game day. Like if you go where the Reds and Cleveland Indians or the Guardians play, you can still walk up and get great seats for $25.
Yeah. Well, that was spring training, yeah, spring training was for the diehard fan, but it was also for the kids. It gave the kids an
Yes.
opportunity to see these guys up closer, and get to know these guys, get autographs.
Well, see,
'Cause
but
it's
here,
tough to get an autograph during the regular season.
yeah. But so here's the whole deal with spring training, though, which I found out the first year I was down there, is if you go 3 hours before the game, when they're working out and stuff, there's an hour period when their workout's over and before they head into the clubhouse. You've got an hour, and you can go there for free.
Yeah.
Hang out and get autographs.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of big time players aren't going to sign a baseball if you're an adult.
Yeah. No, I don't blame them.
Because they figure you're going to sell that shit.
It's going to be on fucking
right?
eBay in an hour.
But you get a little kid out there holding a ball, they will sign anything for a little kid.
Yeah.
So if you want, and I mean, Kershaw wouldn't sign anything. Kershaw just walked by because he knows, man, you're going to sell my autograph. Okay.
Yeah.
One year we were there. Jesse didn't have a baseball, so I threw him one of my extra ones. Jesse got Mark McGwire because Mark McGwire was the hitting coach. Yeah. So Jesse's got my baseball with Mark McGwire's autograph.
Hey, you own 50% of that ball.
No,
which is not. It's worth $4.
If you ask Jesse, I don't own shit. Right? It was my baseball. His was up in his seat.
Jesse.
I threw him an empty one. He got McGwire's autograph, and he just took off with my ball.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's how it works.
But no, spring training. Because here's the beauty part about spring training, and I've told
those
this.
tickets should be $25.
Yeah, if you go the day of the game, they are regular price.
Yeah.
But I tell the story a lot because this is the beauty part about baseball. Okay, in spring training, so we're there watching the Reds were playing the A's, so we're at the Red Stadium, and this little 3-year-old kid is standing by the railing, has a ball in his hand. And this AA catcher from the A's comes out and grabs the kid's ball and signs it, right? Gives it back to the kid. The kid is celebrating.
Hell yeah.
He is happier than shit that a major leaguer signed his baseball.
Yeah.
And he's happy. He's running back. He shows his dad. And the kid is just got a grin on his face. He's smiling and he's happy. Doesn't matter that kid probably might not make the major leagues.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter because
Yeah.
the baseball player signed my baseball.
Yeah.
That is the beauty of baseball and beauty of sports.
Yeah.
That's where you get these kids hooked.
They forget that. I think it's horrible. I mean, I don't get to go to see the Rams during before the season starts.
We can.
I know we can, but it's back then I couldn't. I had the kids.
Right.
So when the Niners decided to practice at UOP, I thought, this is great. Let's take the kids. I was talking to Joe and I said, let's take the kids. Let's, this is, even though this is not our team, this is going to be fun for the kids, And they got this beautiful laminated, it was a poster thing with some of the players' names on it. And the kids were lined up along the fence and the guys were coming back in from practice. And this is my story with JP.
Yeah.
And JP's little. He can't get over the fence. He's holding this, trying to get autographs. And I forget his name. It was the linebacker for the Niners back then. He comes over there. He grabs JP, picks JP up over the fence and puts him down on the other side. And he's getting autographs. And Mooch comes by. And he's all Mooch. He's Paisan, Mooch. I said, tell him, say Paisan, Mooch, So he's he grabs him and he signs it. And he goes, oh, hey, you're a 49er. He goes, no, I'm a Rams fan. And he just looked at him and just kind of pushed him away. But it was, that's the thing. You get that moment, where this is that generation. This is that new generation you want to bring in.
Right.
And then when you make it to where it's, dad has to decide whether, he gets a new set of tires or does he take it to an NFL game, that's tough, but, and then it just, I've been hearing things. I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about this, but it sounds like after 2026 is from what I think I read the art, or no, 2030. It'll NFL officially will be completely streamed. So it may not. It doesn't sound like it's going to be available on the airways, from what I understand. But they're going to make it free to stream by 2030. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, Do you think the internet is going to be in every single household by 2030? Because that seems like that's the only way you're going to be able to watch a game.
It should, but a lot of the NFL's, a lot of sports income is TV contracts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where
are they going to bring in the money?
That's what I'm saying.
That's how they raise salary caps. That's how they lower salary caps, is the revenue they get off of TV contracts.
Yeah.
Okay. If you take away the billions and billions of dollars from TV revenue, the only thing that's going to happen is ticket prices go up.
Yeah.
Because someone's got to cover that cost.
Somebody's going to. That's what I was thinking. I was like, well, hopefully we've kind of got a little bit of a glimpse. I mean, I streamed the Super Bowl.
Right.
And it played well. Yeah. Right. I mean, it didn't buff. It didn't end up slow. And, it wasn't screwed up like the Netflix with the, was the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible.
But here's the deal too. I mean, I used to get the NFL package on DirecTV, $300 a year, but I could watch every game.
Yeah.
I didn't mind spending the $300 for the 6 months to get that, because you go to one game, you're spending $300.
Yeah.
This way I can watch the Rams whenever I want. I can watch whatever game whenever I wanted. I didn't have a problem paying for the NFL package. I really didn't.
Yeah. Mr. Sala pays big bucks to see those Niners.
Yeah, he does. We're not as, we're not.
And Andre says he's willing to pay $200 more per ticket next year for a Super Bowl. So give Purdy $65 million. So he's above Dak. And Andre would be more than happy to pay that extra money. Right, Andre? Andre would tell Marine, I want a new recliner, a 99-inch TV.
That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
And we'll just watch them the next day when it's free on TV.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm kind of, we're going to get going, but I'm kind of curious. I've always wanted to ask you this question. And I know you've been to the Niners games way back. But if you were to compare, and granted, you were a Niners fan before they won Super Bowls, and you were attending games prior to that. Do you feel that is the fan different from back then in the late early 70s than they are today?
Yes.
Which fans would you rather hang out with, the 1970 crowd or the 2025 crowd?
The 1970 crowd.
Do you think they were better educated in the game than they are today? Like they knew the players, they knew what was going on, they knew.
Yes, and they were also more polite, and they were more sophisticated, polite. And what's another thing I could say about them? The polite and friendliness means the same, kind of.
Yeah.
They were more. They knew the players. They knew that if a man went in motion and the defense didn't follow him, that means it's going to be a zone play. Right. They knew things like that. And
would you say the passion's the same? Would you say that it was more? They were more passionate fans then than they are today?
No, they're more passionate then. Today, you know what they are? A bunch of shitheads.
Corporate guys.
Well, not even that.
Well,
no.
I mean,
cell phone, and they're playing with their cell phone while the game's going on.
Yeah, that's the thing that drives me nuts.
So, but no, I'm getting back to what Andre's saying. And now I've seen this, and I don't like the trend, but I would go watch the Rams in the 80s, okay? Yeah, I caught a lot of shit, okay? That's fine. You guys won a couple Super Bowls.
Yeah.
But before the game, you walk through the parking lot of Candlestick, right? Man, people are drinking wine, having a good time. The tailgate is fine. You jump about to the late 90s, okay?
In that parking lot.
Everything changed. Everyone's like, well, don't go to the Raiders because shit. No, I've seen more violent fights at a Niner game in the 2000s than I've seen it at a Raider game.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the middle 90s, the culture changed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to where the fan base was no longer the wealthy, sophisticated guy in the parking lot drinking wine. Everybody was a good friend. And then it changed to the younger fan base, and all they want to do is fight.
Yeah.
Because especially if their team loses.
Well, too, you gotta look when you look at it that way. You start picturing the '90s. What you're seeing too is I'm trying to think here, but you're seeing the Gen Xers that finally have made money. They're starting to make money and they're able to buy tickets, and that's that generation that came in.
Right.
Is that Gen X that because that's the same thing happening now. Now you have the millennial that's coming in and the Gen Zer that's coming in that has a different philosophy of what football is to them than it was for the Gen X or even the Boomer.
Right.
From so you get a little bit difference. You know what? It's the thing that broke down the Niners was the introduction of the garlic fries. That's when everything went straight downhill. They introduced those garlic fries, and they said, "Well, fuck, if we could make garlic fries, we can have this." That was it. Because you think about it, that's like the first food introduced to the Candlestick Park. That drove everything. Everything changed after the garlic fries. Right. I blame the garlic fries.
I blame the garlic fries.
Right. Then you start seeing wine.
Go ahead, Andre. Go ahead. See what you're going to say.
All right. Go ahead, John. Finish.
You started seeing wine, cheese, fucking. You also
Cobb salads, Caesar salads.
A fucking crab salad for $50 at a fucking football game. Yeah, that's what I want. Because it's from fucking the famous fish house on the Pier 39. So. Yeah, that's where I go. Go ahead, Andre.
Today's day and age of the Niner fans is now. I've been sitting in my seat for the last 5 years, but I've been at the new stadium since it opened up, and I think 2005 or 2004, somewhere around there. I don't know exactly when.
Yeah,
but. In the seats that I've had since I sat at this new stadium, I've never had the same person.
Yeah, you said that.
In the seat twice.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It's always a new person. And what's happening from what I noticed is out in the parking lot when they're tailgating, it's nothing but a bunch of hey, Esse, what's going on? Hey, bro.
I wasn't going to say
that. No. Hey,
I was going to go in that direction, but I wasn't going to say that. The inside part out loud.
I'm not saying nothing bad. I'm just saying.
No. It's a different culture. It's a different culture. Things have changed.
Back in the 70s and the 80s, we had family that brought their kids.
Yeah.
And it was just behind me in the section that I was sitting, the parents brought their kids. 10 years later, those kids are bringing their kids to the same seats. Now it's a different person every game because the guy that buys a season ticket, he puts his tickets on sale. Yeah. And he gets extra money for that. He buys tickets for $200, sells them for $300.
Right.
Yeah.
Now he's made money,
Yeah. Well, I guess go back to what I said. You got a new generation that's starting to have an income, and they're choosing the NFL to spend their money, and you got a different attitude because you got where. Granted, now I'm gonna, if you go back to the 70s prices, that still was a lot of money to you.
But it was a lot of money based on the income you were bringing.
Now these guys they're starting to. You got Gen Z millennials that are starting to that are in the workforce now, making money and choosing where they spend their money. And when you do for this generation, I think that fact that that's a $300 ticket, they feel like they're privileged to be able to do what they want to do, say what they want to say, act the way they want to act. And as those values, those tickets go up and that newer generation comes in, you're going to get that. I think you're just, again, for me in the 80s, I went to a lot of Rams games, thank God that a majority of the time we got tickets from Mallard's, the owner of Mallard's, because Philip worked there. So I didn't have to pay that. But like Bob said, I still left with spending $150, $175, Yeah, easy. Just on food and drink.
When you buy 4 hot dogs and 4 sodas and maybe a cotton candy or something, you're spending $100, $120 easily.
Yeah, and we were 40-yard line behind the Niners, maybe 15 rows up, and beautiful fucking seats, And I figured those seats probably back then were probably a good $100 and something bucks. So, It's just, I think that's what you're getting. You're getting a different generation that values their time and their money in a different way than say we did.
Yeah.
It was a privilege to go to an NFL game. It was, you paid attention, now it's all about that moment. Now, granted, I've done it before. I pull my phone out, but I pull it out before the game is, and I go, here I am. I want everybody to see where I am, but then that phone goes away.
Right.
Because I want to enjoy that moment. It's the same thing with the guys at the rock concerts. You look at these rock concerts and you see all these cell phones out. How are you enjoying that moment?
Right.
Now I do that too as well at rock concert, but I pick a song. There's a specific song like Eddie Money. There's a specific song I want to hear. When that song is playing, I'm going to record that moment. But after that, I want to enjoy it. I don't want to sit there and hold my hand up like this for 4 minutes,
Right.
But it's a different time. Everyone wants to show off where they're at and just have a good time, enjoy that moment, enjoy it, man.
A majority of these fans are getting drunk off their ass, and then they come up and they go, "Wow, what a great game!" They didn't see shit.
Speaking of the guy that got stuck in his little wheeler,
Right.
who could not even remember what happened in that game.
All right, Andre, I believe it or not, I had that moment where my buddy got some Kings tickets from the Kings in Orlando. I got hammered before the game, and I was a jackass during the whole game.
Yeah.
And on the ride home, I realized what I had done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And plus getting kicked out of a Giants-Cardinals game too, I realized I don't drink anymore when I go to games.
Yeah.
It's been 25 years since I have drank alcohol at a sporting event because I was that obnoxious guy who drank too much and I was an asshole.
Yeah.
And I know it's uncomfortable because I watch other guys do the same thing I used to. I don't drink anymore when I go to concerts. I don't drink anymore when I go to sporting events just because I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
And afterwards you feel so embarrassed the next day what you actually did. But in the heat of the moment, you're like, "Oh, I'm so cool" and stuff. No, actually, you're kind of an asshole.
Yeah,
because I was. Okay, that's why I don't drink.
Me, I did not swear at anybody.
No, I could see you taking a nap.
Right.
I could see you
All I
taking a
did
nap.
was fall asleep.
Well, right? No, Andre, it's not that. It's just that I didn't swear at anybody, but I did make a jackass out of myself both times. Where to the point where I thought I became bigger than the game itself. I wanted people to pay attention to me than the game.
Yeah.
So that's why about 25 years ago, I just don't drink anymore when I go to sporting events.
Yeah. Plus, you got to go to the bathroom, and that's awkward.
Look,
I
get my I get my 2 Coliseum dogs. I get my Diet Pepsi before the game. I'm done for the whole game until we get back outside.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because I'm the person that I want to know my surroundings.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to know who's behind me, who's on the side of me, just in case. And I don't know how.
Andre's ready to fight, dude. Andre's ready to fight.
I'm not ready to fight, but I'm ready to defend myself.
Yeah, the Kung Fu Sicilian. Dude.
Yeah.
The Kung Fu Sicilian.
Yeah.
Well, no, but John, I don't know if I could be as fast as I used to, but I still remember.
I don't know, man. I doubt that.
I still remember some of the moves.
As kids, you beat the shit out of us a lot, and I think
yeah, but I was a lot younger then. I tell you what, I got 3 moves.
Don't tell them.
If I don't get you within those 3 moves, then I have to run.
Then the hip goes.
Yeah.
It did already.
All right, we are done.
It's just, I don't know, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know how in the hell I got in that position. Because all I had was a couple of shots of Jack
your buddy's
Daniels.
there. That's
Your
the
buddy
thing.
was
Your
there.
buddy's there. That changes it because everybody's got that one drinking buddy.
Yeah.
Everybody's got that one, and you can say to yourself, "I'm not doing it tonight. I'm not doing it tonight." And then Yeah, I'm that guy. Joey knows all about that. I'm that guy that likes to buy girls shots and and then they get mad at me because it's midnight and it's time to go home.
Yeah. Come on, John. Let's go. Let's go to bed, John. Let's go. Let's stop by Mr. T's. Get you some donuts. John.
Yes, you must stop at Mr. T's or Jack in the Box for those tacos. Nothing better than greasy Jack in the Box tacos.
Hey, on the app there, 2 for 99.
2 for 99 cents, baby.
We used to go when I was younger. We used to go to down on Mission Street, on Persia and Mission.
Ooh.
We used to go to the place called Blossoms. The greasiest hamburgers you ever think of.
Yes.
But man, at midnight, 1 o'clock, they were the best hamburgers around.
Absolutely, man. When you're drunk, you need a big old greasy burger to help you get through that hangover.
And an order of fries. Oh my God.
Yeah. That was that one I got when I went to San Francisco for a couple weeks to help what's his name move.
Carmelo,
my number one cousin. And yeah, Andre doesn't like when I say that.
Oh, okay.
That I learned real quick. I was like, man, I'm hungry. He goes, oh yeah, let's go. And I was completely shocked at how many places were full on restaurants open like at 3 a.m.
Oh yeah.
It's like, no. I was like, is there a Taco Bell or Jack in the Box or something? He goes, Taco Bell, Jack in the Box. We'll go to a restaurant, sit down, we'll have some good food. I'm like, what? Really? And there's like 8 Asian restaurants open. There's a freaking every pizza place is open. I was just like, okay, this is what it's like to live in a city.
Well, back when I was out younger, Lions was 24 hours.
Yeah, Lions. I remember.
So after the Black Angus and after all the bars closed, everybody went to Lions.
Everybody.
So if you didn't pick up on her at the bar, you saw her at Lions. You bought her breakfast. Okay,
that's right. That's right.
Got to do what you got to do, Andre.
Yeah, we will be. Yeah, we're done. We'll be back. I was going to ask you guys if you're having with NFL withdrawals. It's been 2 weeks.
No, I'm good because there's still drama in baseball's coming up. So,
but you know, some of these sports talk shows that I listen to, they're still talking about football in Dallas.
Talking
about Dallas still.
Hey, they're winning the Super Bowl next year. Everybody better watch out.
Of course.
So ESPN. Oh, I saw this today. Rob Manfred, Major League Baseball, is going to take away Sunday Night Baseball from ESPN. He goes because all they talk about is football, the Cowboys, and LeBron. ESPN does not promote baseball.
Yeah,
they're taking Sunday Night Baseball from ESPN.
That's good. That's good. You know. Yeah. I was surprised Bob didn't talk about the big race either. You know,
Daytona.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it.
Oh shit!
I saw William Byron won.
Oh, okay.
But Daytona, it's the same every year. Okay,
I'm just shocked that you didn't watch
it. We
not
have
one single lap.
No, not once. I saw the highlights. What? Because they ran it on Monday. I guess the rain would. No, they ran it Sunday, but it was like an 8-hour or 7-hour delay, and I ain't got time for all that.
I ain't got time.
So, but it's the same thing. Okay, so I don't like Daytona because for most of the race, there's a couple accidents, and the last 10 laps, there's a wreck every lap because guys are jockeying for position and taking people out. Okay, so I saw William Byron won.
Yeah, that's the race that if you really have a grudge with somebody, that you can get away with bumping them.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are out of here. Thank you, Mr. Sharp. Thank you, Mr. Andre, the king, but he is the Sicilian godfather of sports.
Not me.
Yeah, we will be back next week. We'll have some great topics. So I promise won't be any football talk. Football's done unless there's some big. I got a feeling there's going to be a big deal. I think there's going to be a big deal coming. I think we're all going to be shocked by it.
Yeah,
and it'll be Purdy saying no to $40 million a year.
He'll be an idiot.
All right, guys. Everybody, look into the camera and say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.